It's time. Happy days. Good days to you all. It's time for some FACEIT League. Got a banger for you. Extinction Jurassic taking on Project VLLN here as we kick off week 5 as we get in officially getting into the back half of season 6. All right, we're getting into the thick of things. Let's get settled in. We're gonna have a good one here tonight. Yeah, I have a feeling this one is not going to be just a quick 35-minute 3 and out. I don't think so. I have a feeling we're in for it tonight, friends. Extinction Jurassic taking on Project VLLN. I think this is going to be a really good test for Jurassic. Project VLLN have become a staple here in this division. There we go. There's your power rankings, friends. Here you go. Number 6, number 7. Project VLLN, Extinction Jurassic, both of which moved up in this power rankings. I did this power rankings on August 22nd. Might have oversold Dill Donkeys a little bit after they had a spectacular week and were able to beat Aurora Noctis and Project VLLN. We had to put Dill Donkeys above them here. Was that a flash in the pan? We'll see. It's one of Project VLLN's only 2 losses. They have stayed consistently solid since. Before and since. So you drop that unexpected match to Dill Donkeys that, surprised the entire division. I was like, whoa, Donkeys, what'd y'all do? What'd y'all eat for breakfast that week? And then lost to Gaff, who's still your number 2 squad. Gaff does drop the head-to-head to Archelon last week. Our 2 last remaining Juggernauts went head-to-head last week. Archelon was able to take that one. So they are firm 1-2 right there. Past that, it gets a little foggy. Nog Academy would be a big one of those teams that's in the hunt for that 3rd to kind of 5th place reign. And this win over Nog Academy speaks volumes to me. So despite Project VLLN, dropping that series to Donkeys, and I did push them again down the rankings because of that, I think they turn around and beat Nog Academy, who we have, up in that 4th place seed. Now, if Project VLLN is our benchmark in this series, Jurassic is the one that needs to step up. We keep hearing this time and time again. Every time Jurassic loses, they've got excuses. They come back with excuses each and every time, and each and every time the excuses we didn't have discipline. You've either got your Flux support playing tank, or you've got Toad is in playing tank. They did actually have discipline in versus Archelon, but they take Archelon to 5. Which not even Gaff took Archelon to 5, right? Jurassic could have the potential, though, to really punch up and really upset. It's more a look of, hey, what is it there? Like, it's an indication that there could be something. This doesn't mean Jurassic's better than Gaff. This is not what that means. It just does mean, hey, let's take a look. With Jurassic coming in against VLLN, if you're able to take down Project VLLN, now we're starting to see something. Now we're starting to see some consistent wins when Jurassic have their full starting squad. All of their losses, except for Archelon, those 2 losses, they did not have discipline in. They had a lack of discipline in those games. We need to see discipline here in this match. Double entendre. But no, they need their starting tank, obviously. Project VLLN have had Kibs come in, which I believe we've had a diva ban from VLLN, speaking of, which means Jurassic got the Ilios pick and did not go on attack. I'm appreciative. But that was a Project VLLN diva ban going into Ilios, so kind of bucking the trend there already. Kibs is new to the squad. So Kibs just joined this team in this past week or so. Because I had, as of 822 in those power rankings, it was just Axe listed as their tank. Promising Clash or your DPS, you're going to have Fern and Jono in your backline. So your starters are all the same, with Kibs just going to be starting here instead of Axe, is what it's looking like. They're still finalizing lineups right now. Boom, there it is. And that will stay the case. Kibs will, in fact, get the start here as we head into Ilios. It was a Sojourn ban from Extinction Jurassic. Discipline is in. All right, Jurassic, show me what you got. Let's get it, map 1. I played only last 3 maps. I assume you're talking about versus Archelon discipline. You played only last 3 maps versus Archelon. Here, I can go verify that real quick. I think I still have that match page up. Yes. Orc Cloud started maps 1 and 2 in that match versus Archelon. And then Discipline comes in and wins maps 3 and 4 and forces them at 5. So that is accurate. Okay, Discipline. I appreciate the heads up. Wow. All right. So let's see if Jurassic are really everything that they claim to be. With Discipline in for this match against Villain, they're gonna have their work cut out for them. They're gonna try to take this high ground already. Initially, Kibbs is just gonna dive across the rooftops, immediately jump down and try to engage in cage. But Promise and Kibbs are both sent packing immediately. The Disciplined JQ. The JQ is here to play. We've been hearing recently that JQ is actually, I mean, just no joke, actually really very, very good. With rework on the perks, and of course with things like Ramatra, kind of taking a back seat without as much block slop than the burst damage of some of. We're entering more of a burst damage meta, with block slop kind of getting nerfed a bit across the board. And JQ, ooh, she can just excel in those burst damage metas. A lot of sustain. If you're late in the shots, of course that Gracie a little wide there. Here's the shout in, engage on to Kibbs. And the Carnage will get the job done. Rice immediately dashes across the opposite direction. The low clash hiding up there, and they will get found. Plan and Discipline close up, or clean up. Close out, whichever. Pick one. Take your choice. Back in the fight goes the Jurassic. A Deadeye here just to hold people in spawn? Okay, sure. I mean... Oh, yeah, that was... Hubris punished. There by Promise and Kibbs. Yeah, absolutely, Sir Hanong. I appreciate you being here. Genuinely, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Rush down. Right over the point. Couple of... Can I land? Clash? I think might have gotten taken out. They spent the ultimate. Unclear whether it hit the battlefield. Well, only thing that is clear is... This fight is going the way of Jurassic. Fern did get a very late rush into that fight, but I mean, no value on that one either. Clash and Fern both finding not a zip 0 with their Qs. Smacks gets a huge kill before this next fight even breaks out. Rice is just the Aura Blade up here right in the face of Fern. Fern's actually gonna win that. Gibson's gonna downpour into this. And we're gonna get Discipline's ult shut down. That's a Rage Jax here in the OT. And once again, Jurassic has a bit of hubris that gets punished by Project Villain for the second time in this submap. So we saw Fern and Clash get 0 value on their ultimates. Discipline and Rice get theirs. I mean, Rice at least gets a bit of an Aura Blade. Discipline, I mean, that just looked... I don't even know. Desperate's not even the right word. It's like failed Aura. That's Fora. That was, yeah, it's just faux Aura. Fora. It's Fora. Yep. Jono booping Discipline off the sides is pure Aura. Headshots onto a lane will help flip this point. We're gonna get one last fight here. We get the cleanup in the corner. One final engage before peace returns here to the well. Ooh, the boop! Discipline got sent all the way across to the opposite side of cage. Does come out with a touch. Consider it's launched in from the opposite side. We're gonna get Jurassic trying to converge on into that corner. Fern has one to match. Let's keep an eye on Clash. Finish off Rice and Discipline. I'm touched late to your paw. I'm sorry. But the bolo shot lands. The headshot is clean from Clash. Project Veil to close out round 1. JQ is really fun to watch. I couldn't agree more, Justin. I love playing Junker Queen, and I love watching Junker Queen. Just a fun hero, and it feels like it takes a lot of skill, like it's explosive, it's dynamic. You can tell when things are landing and when they're working and when they're not, right? And there's nuance and choice. I mean, I love JQ. I think JQ is an amazing hero. Now, obviously, it's Discipline. It was forced to swap off. And we'll go to a hazard here as we have the Diva banned out, so we won't get to your typical Diva maneuvers on Lighthouse. It looks like we're gonna be doing more rock climbing than flying.
3, 2, 1.
How right you were, Rev. How right you were from 2 minutes in the future. Just saying. Elaine sticking with the cast versus the Freya in there from Clash. So you get a lot more ability to control this high ground, which this high ground from the Lighthouse is so important. We've seen entire team fights kind of developing up here when, you know, when everybody was playing Freya. But I still think Clash holding the spot could be, I mean, incredibly powerful. But, you know what? The shots aren't landing. Here comes a bit of disruption. You see Braun James... Oh, no, excuse me. That was Jono coming up for actually a low peel. And Jono will successfully peel. But first cap has gone to Discipline and the Jurassic squad. Violent leap in, go a little block out. We're stuck inside the center pillar. Oh, and a mean shot from Elaine. Pops Jono. It's going to allow Braun James to catch up in the sound barrier. Discipline is able to help clean up. Ooh, but has to sacrifice themselves to do it. Is there enough left in the tank? Kibbs and Fern still holding here in cage. Project VLLN are about to move on to this point. Deadeye out from a lane to try to hold it. You got a lot of players coming your direction. Clash and Kibbs both low, having to stall in this precious moment for reinforcements to show back up. Namely, Discipline. I think Elaine and company were able to kind of dance around, back out. They have to get over control. Snack's trying to swift step out, trying to save Discipline. Oh, climbs back up and eats a kunai from Fern. It's been a 2-for-1 trade, but no tank left here on the point. Let's see if Jurassic are able to get this flip. Consider rush, toss in from Fern. Smacks finds Kib. Ooh, some good shooting there out of Fern. But I think Jurassic have got this one unlocked. Foza. Yeah, Foza. I kind of like that. Forza. Wait. Farza? Simultaneous downpours. A lot of rain. Minimal umbrellas. Kibbs is really the only one caught in that. There's some chaos going on where Braun James falls outside the screen, but Smacks and Discipline still able to trade back with a Considering rush on the point. That pulse bomb is, well, kind of just shrugged off there by Discipline. And Smack Suzu? I don't think Smack Suzu. I think they just the block on it. And he just immediately was healed up. There's the Suzu, there's the blade. Fern finding the business end of the katana. Ooh, Clash is able to jump up and out in the last moment, though. Lands a couple of good shots here. 74%. Is it enough for VLLN to get back and take this point? Its promise on the point. We're looking at a 3v2 up here. The swift step out. Well, vulnerable Jono trying to make the leap. Elaine picks up 2 inside while this is happening. Wow. What is it? Yeah, Elaine moved back onto the point, I guess. Apologies, I didn't have an angle on what Elaine was up to. Maybe I should have. Sound barrier in from Jono to try to save this. Jono's already picked up 2 in this fight. How in the earth does that happen? Jono gets a 3rd. An enormous sound barrier. And a big flip from Project Villain. What a play. There from Jono. Dog coming kicking my door open. Silver bullet will do Kibbs in. Kitsune Rush tossed in from Fern. I think it was just to try to save the tank. It's not going to be enough. As soon as this fades, watch for the counter punch in. Discipline drops in the downpour. Jono falls. Promise will get taken down. The pole's not going to hit the target. We get a flip here out of Jurassic. We'll take this over to Ruins. Violent leap prevents the touch. Jurassic will succeed to get around 3.
One more mission, huh? I'm in.
There are many roads.
Rip contenders. Respect. I like Hazard looking at the Overwatch contenders. The hell was that? Why can't I have a contender skin? Says Hazard. Oh, thank you, Zink. Enjoy Kibbs, who has moved over to an Orisa. Because everybody loves Orisa Pav, right? Let me fix that. Good call on the title. Heads up. Good heads up. Oh, discipline. Able to keep feet on solid ground. Bryce with an opening pick on a clash, I think. I don't know. I was changing the title. Was that the only pick we had? Dash local body even with both teams heading into this 3rd round. As you might expect for a... Wow. Rice just got sent up to space. Man, did you run out of oxygen up there, Rice? You alright, bud? Woo. Promise trying to go up, deal with the Kiri Lucio. Excuse me, the Genji Lucio duo that was hanging out above. Now Discipline coming in. Promise Jono protecting that high ground. Meanwhile, we've had the rest of the team been able to push through. Kitsune Rush onto the point. Oh, Fern not able to get out of there in time. You saw the Suzu as well as the Swift Step. I think we're both trying to get used in that. Discipline's going to come up with 3. That was such an interesting fight. Jono and Promise never quite made it in. So Kibbs and the rest just running onto the point. And then Smacks just throws a Kitsune Rush directly over Kibbs. And they kind of just win out the 5v3 immediately. Discipline able to move around, clean up different, 2 different aspects, kind of be in 2 different fights very quickly. We'll drop down and try to intercept Clash, who's looking to push through this choke. Finds Rice. Nice little flick. Soundbarrier trying to protect his front line, and this Terror Surge was thrown in. Discipline's able to catch Kibbs. It will look like Fern in that. Clash was caught in that downpour as well, as you can see in the assist. Enormous downpour into that corner to complete what's looking like a flawless round here on Ruins. There's gonna be a blade up in celebration. That is an Aura Blade. Jurassic 100-0 Ruins. Take the 1-0 lead in the series.
Play of the game.
So far, so good for Jurassic fans out there. Second pick here from Villain. Okay, we're gonna go long range. We had Demon Soj ban that first time around. What's Villain gonna do with their ban here? This is, I mean, we've seen Circuit, now that Brawl has kind of gotten nerfed down a little bit, we've seen Circuit go back into, typically we got like a poke, more of a poke duel, like a Sigma poke duel. The first time in a while. It's a sim ban from Villain, okay. So we're looking to avoid kind of the double flex DPS look here. Ambi taking over, Ambivalent, 27-7 there in that first map, my goodness. Discipline drops the 30 bomb, but it's ambivalent there with that 13k leading the lobby in damage, and really, I mean, those two really combining for so much work being done in that first map. Okay, that's, Elaine is ambivalent. Okay, good to know. I don't know why they didn't sink in the first time. Sorry. I mean, how do Kibbs and company respond, right? Can they keep Ambi quiet? It was pretty dominant there on a Cassidy. On a Cassidy where you'd think like, I mean, well, the Cassidy does have a little bit of advantage over the Freya, and of course the Freya took a really big nerf with the updraft perk getting removed. So, you know, that all working out in Jurassic favors here, and Ambivalent so damn good with that cast. Get him after. So we are going to get discipline on the Sigma.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, I have to turn off the outlines for that to really be effective. But then I want to turn them back on for the gameplay. I don't know. I'm kind of honestly, I'm learning to think of turning off the outlines. I don't know. Anyway. What is... You tell me, Sir Handdog. You tell me. It's what is in FACEIT League. Alright. I mean, I have the T-Rex head. I mean, of course I have the T-Rex head on file. But no, y'all wanna run this, like, I don't know what it looks like, Torque from the Borderlands games. Like an AI version of Torque in a golf cart with a beer. I think that's like, I think somebody put Torque in a golf cart with a beer into Chat GPT, and that's your logo there. I think that's what that is. Oh, I meant to go to I don't know whose logo. I mean, like, wait, there's not really a hit scan here for Project Villain. I mean, you're running. I mean, you do have Clash on a Soj. Ooh, a Chengdu Hunter Soj is back, actually. Very cool. Did we get a Chengdu Hunter Soj? Because Hunter's, like, backed out, right? Like, Hunters weren't around for the final season? Anyway. Oh! Promised with a nice little two-piece. Would have been more of that damn shield. I think you threw off the sidelines. Yeah, that's what we'll go with. Good fight there. It's gonna be a cap. Oh, yep, Rock. I thought Jono was gonna get that too. Bryce leaps up to the top of the tents, gets caught by Kibbs in the flux, but Discipline is there for some heal. So Kibbs sacrifices themselves. You know, it's kind of like, you know, your queen moving in, sacrificing themselves for the night. You know, I mean, it felt good at the moment, but not a worthy trade. there for the team in red. I don't know why I went all chess on y'all. Nice wall. Devaluing some of that matrix while it's time for Villain to get around this corner. You do have a couple of ultimates to work with, most notably the double DPS ults to push up here. Sound barrier to use kind of depends, I guess, on how good this Flux looks. Yeah, Flux looked good. Sound barrier's down immediately. Kim's actually does not get that beat. But Dragons now versus a couple of ultimates come in. Both basically Captive Sun and Dragons look like it's going to win it out here for this defense. The OC from Clash falling flat and Promise never getting a chance to invest the Blizzard. I feel like outlines are better for like tactical, like seeing what's happening. I mean, so you can see the team approaching the corner there. Hey, control at work. Thank you. I did not approve this. Hey, sure squad, Sir Hand Dog. I don't know what to tell you. This one gets the shield up just before getting frozen, so minimal damage taken from the Blizzard, and they're going to counterpunch beautifully. Rice finds 3 with this huge high ground position. And a cool skin to boot. Okay, yeah, Season 5 Chengdu, I guess he was still... That's what I was kind of thinking in my head, Kirkle. Was like, did we have Sojourn in Season 5? That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. We did. Sometimes, I don't know, it's like, wait a minute. It was all Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2 didn't come out until Owl was dead. Obviously, that's not correct. Oh! Flux, caught Fern. Elaine, I mean, that's Overclock and Gravitic Flux to kill Fern. Window, I don't know if the window made it out or not, but this is looking like a scrambling Project Villain. Core 5, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Not my logo. Our Captain Kids is on the case. 90% towards this Gravitic Flux, me mateys. As this pirate will take to the skies off the seas. Defying gravity once the ultimate comes online. Don't ask. I have no idea. Jono falls 91%. But there is still no Baptiste for this backline, but with Rice finding that pick, oh, this is actually close. Discipline does not have a whole lot of sustain in this fight. Oh, but Fern's gonna get popped. Kids just kind of goes running up the hill. Villain gets separated. You know what I was talking about? Project Villain looking like a very consistent team here in NA Expert. Have not looked super consistent here so far in this series. Or at least in this map. I mean, look, I'm not talking about Ilios. Ilios looked fine. But that kind of thing, where you're seeing like Fern go far right, Kittens like all the way far up the street, like just complete disconnect. Captive Sun, Dragons once again thrown in, Smacks finds 2, both supports as a matter of fact. 3K for Smacks, big hold here for Jurassic, and pretty attainable win con set.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
One of my favorite skins so far this year.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Right, sticking with that Hanzo was an enormous factor on that attack. Actually, I meant to look at some stats. We're looking at 16 and 3, 5k damage to lane, 14 and 2. Oh, but Ambivalent's gonna be the first to fall here on the villain attack. Excuse me, the Jurassic attack. Clash comes up with an important pair. Oh, Rice will respond, but probably got the least impactful of the trades that they could have gotten finding. Oh, no, there you go. Okay, so Rice says fine. I'll hit the jump shot across the corners on the Fern. Oh, catches Fern peeking. Oh, I didn't even catch the Ajax. Was that during the Captive Sun Aura combo? I assume that was the two-piece from Smacks. There was an Ajax in that. That would make sense. I mean, you would have to hit the button no matter what because you were in an overtime fight, so... Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a hold there from Jurassic, and honestly, they're putting up a good fight here. Fern does get this Ant Matrix up, but a lot of low health bars from Project Villain. Yeah, oh! Lane hits a mean rail as soon as the window comes down from Fern. Ron James has the response. I like the skin with the galactic weapon on that. Like, that's actually a really neat looking combo. Discipline caught. I believe it was Clash, maybe even Promise in that. Overclock starting to fade here. An aggressive leap. Clash just spins everything to go right into the backline. You're in a very bad spot. And, okay, Blizzard tossed in. Jono, I did not see the sound barrier land. It was definitely used. Oh, that was an enormous Captive Sun, and that's going to be the pushover. There it is. Jurassic closed it out. Was a double Ajax there? Another Ajax to close out the fight. Jurassic take a 2-0 lead in this series. A dominant performance. Oh, God, that Hanzo actually is just so damn cool. That is one of the most unexpectedly favorite skins that I didn't know I loved so much. That's badass. And Rice! Woo. What a performance there in map 2. Rice really putting up one. Wow. Okay, so that was on the villain's map pick as well, right? I mean, trying to really change up the battlefield, do something completely different out of, you know, the hazard mirror that we kind of saw through Ilios. Villain try to come back and play an Orisa on Ruins and just get ran over. They get 100-0'd on that sub map by Jurassic. So, you know, Villain try to force the Sigma, try to force the poke duel. Man, Jurassic just dominated. Absolutely picked him apart on that second point. So we're going back into something, and again, completely different. More wide open, a little spread out, more options, more maneuverability. But it's going to be with a Kiriko ban. So banning out the flex support that most commonly goes with the hazard as we head into Suravasa. So I'll give you some stats from map 2 as I get all that information plugged in. I assume, yeah, Villain's staying on the attack here. Staying in the red outlines, I mean. And this is, remember, I had Villain actually one step above this team in our power rankings. They were directly, I mean, 6 and 7, right on next to each other in the rankings. I thought this series would be closer. So far it has, map 1 started close. and then it was a 100 to 0. Map 2, I mean, these stats I think kind of speak for themselves. Ricey coming out with 24 elims. You got AMB slash Elaine with 11 point K damage, and then Discipline 20 and 1, fewest deaths, top damage in the lobby. I mean, honestly, Jurassic look lights out. They look extremely explosive. They look dominant in that map. And that was a villain map pick, trying to change this up. So I think what happens here? Do villain, can they dig deep? They're trying to incorporate a new tank here. Like, was maybe are we catching villain just kind of in a transition phase with trying to get Kibbs kind of more acclimated to their style and to this roster? Where, I mean, Jurassic, you know what? Maybe their claims could be accurate. Maybe their claims are true. Discipline's in. They win maps. Arisa ban here from Jurassic. Can Jurassic close it out here? Let's get into map 3. So, we're seeing Discipline and Jurassic come back out in the hazard, but they're just going to run the Baptiste with it. Not quite as versatile. Got a little bit more I think a little bit more of a staggering quality about it. Kibbs into the high burst damage, high sustain of the JQ. Not like block slop high sustain, but you know, you get that regen going, she can kind of stick around in the fight a little more than, you know, the flat just burst damage output of the Discipline hazard, which seems to win the day here in the early tank matchup. Rice smacks fine and promise there late in that. Just to buy more time. This might get us down to a single fight, all necessary for Jurassic to get this 100 to 0. Clash of Kibbs rotated around through the front door. Kibbs wide, swing fishing all the way across, trying to keep as much distance as possible between them and Discipline. Has to turn around and try to keep Rice off, but Rice is able to find Giotto through that exchange. Shout in, got to force a lane back. You do get the slide away, but that's about all you're going to get here if you're Kibbs. Discipline heads to the high ground. Smax throws in an Ant Matrix right in the face of the JQ. Jumps down to find that kill. Smack's not letting the JQ out of there. And we, in fact, do just need one more fight here from Jurassic, and they're going to win it out. Grab this first point of market.
Flashpoint Garden.
It's an Elaine OC fighting Fern. Downpour tossed in from Discipline as well. Yes, excuse me, it was Discipline finding Fern, but tomato. You lose your BAP, Fern goes to a Moira, so you get the Lucio Moira look. As we kind of been seeing a little bit more here recently. I think more survivability, more maneuverability. Just able to rotate better than a BAP is. Ooh, 3v1 towards the lane. Yeah, lane kind of pushed up way far in that lobby. Not quite sure. I first thought I was like, it was Rice. I was like, wait a minute, no, that's the Soj. Why was the Soj up there? That should usually be the Tracer, I think, marking that flank. But hey, Clash is going to throw out an OC and aggressive sub-barrier used here from Jurassic. They're trying to push forward onto Kibbs, but Clash has been able to win that back. Giotto's going to respond with their own sound barrier. And a good fight here from Villain. They out-rotate after catching a lane unusually out of position. They're able to out-rotate and kind of out-invest on that front line. Kibbs and Promise holding on to ultimates here for a rainy day. Something that cannot be said for Jurassic. Jurassic did not hold on to a damn thing. Oh, what a mean move. I think Clash ever saw that coming. Finds two with the rampage. Kid's trying to swing back the trade. Shout in. Help save Promise, who gets the pulse and the kill on his smacks. Love the coordination there. That shout from Kibbs was just at the right time. You would think that you would have used your shout 5 seconds sooner in that fight, but had that for that kind of late stage of the fight after the rampage. Nice little micro, and Promise comes up big. Fight was fast. Smacks and Discipline did manage to get up to their ultimates. I mean, good enough for them. Oh, the kidnap. Now the root. Kids almost survive through it. Discipline almost dies through it. Immortality Field has to come out. Immortality Field used as well. Amplification Matrix, rather. But it'll do. It'll do. Smacks is able to save Discipline and this fight here for Jurassic. Is there enough? Is that enough for a 2-0 lead? Promise and Jono. Jono's a late spawn. Promise grabbing the Mega. Looks like they've got the touch. Elaine's going to throw in an OC. Not able to find the Tracer with it. Promise will get to the point. Fern can build up towards this Coalescence. It might be enough to help swing this fight, which is a 99-99 fight. There's a bit of a desperate touch here where Kibbs is already down. This one's going to chase Fern out as well. It looks like Jurassic have got this. Second point on lock. So Villain hoping for a Temple or Ruin spawn.
Flashpoint, Palace.
They won't get it. Jurassic gets the spawn that could secure him the series here. They're able to just set up as they want. Plenty of time to discuss this, make a plan, put some drawings down, come up with another plan, then get set up. Rice drops in a pulse. It's going to be Fern trying to open this up. And really just a front and center approach here from Project Villain. We get double support ults just to try to muscle their way onto the objective. But Clash is already down. It's just Promise here really to put some damage in. With Kibbs going over to a Diva, I mean, not nearly the burst damage you have from like a JQ, right? And certainly not the damage output of a Discipline Hazard. 3-piece on the board. First cap to Jurassic. I don't know why I said it like that. That was a weird call. I'm so sorry. First cap to Jurassic. Oh my, go away. Clash just not getting the value you need. I mean, you've got Immortality filled out. It's about as best as you got out of that overclock. You follow up. Promise is able to find that kill on the smacks. Can it be enough? Elaine finds two. Now popping the overclock. And it's looking like even without their Baptiste in this fight, Elaine, ambivalent, the GOAT, whatever you know them as, it's enough to make up for only having Lucio heals in this fight. They've been able to take over this entire series. They buy enough space here. Kim's trying to get a last-second touch. Clash goes over to a Sombra, but there's a window on the board. Okay, Promise has a pulse. Not gonna get it. Discipline will chase out a 1 health target. OT dropping Fern the last to touch. And Jurassic dominate with a 3-0 performance here over Project Villain. What a showing, what a statement of a series here from Extinction Jurassic.
Play
Oh, love you, Freds. What a team. You know what? Jurassic were saying, hey, you're sleeping on us. Our losses have been flukes, have been circumstantial. Wasn't our fault. Every time I'm like, I don't know about this Jurassic team. They're like, you know what? You gotta come check us out. Like, I'm telling you, you know, it's been circumstantial losses. And you know what? I was like, all right, let's put your money where your mouth is. This Project Villain squad has looked really solid. They're, you know, a Project Villain squad that, you know, had just, you know, come off of a huge win. And, you know, coming off of this win over Nog Academy. That's a huge dub. So I was like, all right, here's a good test for you, Jurassic. Here's a good test. Man, it turns out it was not that good of a test. It was a very dominant performance here from Jurassic, and they are looking like a, I mean, definitely a team that I might have slept on a little bit. Holy cow. Well, I mean, you just make sure you have discipline all the time. Have your starting tank do well. 23-3 there for discipline there in that map 3. 9,000 damage. Honestly, I think you could arguably give MVP to either Discipline or Ambivalent. They both had outstanding matches. I mean, Ricey as well. Ricey with that Hanzo performance on map 2. Also, Ricey only 18-2. There you go. GG's.